Can you actually get an affordable Benchmade pocket knife? I think we can. Welcome to the Hideout this morning. Today we're not talking about a 1911 or even a handgun, but we're going to talk about something that's pretty important to most men, because most men, well, it's hard to say that, I guess, but a lot of men carry pocket knives. And one thing I've learned over the recent years is pocket knives are kind of like ink pens. You hand somebody your pocket knife, you don't get it back, it goes in their pockets. You know, everybody's stealing ink pens at the bank or whatever, and it's not that they're doing it on purpose, it's just a mind thing. You can get a pocket knife, you fold it up, put it in your pocket. But some of us, and you know, I'm one of those guys who like nice pocket knives, nice knives. I like handmade knives, I like Randall knives. I'm gonna go out there and throw out, you know, I'm from Arkansas. This is the knife making capital of the world. You can go to school in Arkansas to learn how to make knives. At a university, I'm not talking about a John Shade tree, I'm talking about we got knife making schools. But one of the things that I caught on the internet lately was how to tell a fake Benchmade from a real one. And you know, Benchmades are excellent pocket knives. I really am fond of them. I like them. I carry a Claymore. You know, a story I can tell you, I had an Infidel out the front knife for years. You know, it's a $500 and some change pocket knife. I lost it. It was painful, painful. I eventually got another one, and then 6 months ago when we were moving into the new hideout here, I lost another one, another $500 pocket knife. So, you know, it's hard to buy another one. Now, before we get started into the meat of today's video, I want you to please click subscribe and click the ringy ding and tell me you like it, because I think this is probably a good common sense informative video. So if you would, go ahead and do that, and then we're going to get started. So Benchmade, there's a lot of good high dollar pocket knives out there, but Benchmade's one of the, you know, good ones. You see them at gun shows. You've got to be careful because you can get a Chinese copy and stuff like that. But you know, this right here is a Benchmade mini Bugout. Now this is a Benchmade mini Bugout. Comes in a nice box. Comes out here and we're going to take a look at it. And I'm going to open it up and let you have a look at it kind of closely as you can, like this. Benchmade mini. You know, this is about a $200 pocket knife, $200 and some change. Very nice pocket knife. It's an appropriate size pocket knife. The problem is, it happened to me just last week, so it made me think about it. I let somebody hold my pocket knife, and I'd be damned if he didn't put it in his own pocket. I caught him. I don't think he did it intentionally. It's just one of those things we do. But you know, a $200 pocket knife is quite a damn pocket knife. You know, ink pens don't cost $200, but you know, you start walking away with my $200 pocket knife, what do you do? And here I've lost a $500 pocket knife, and that's my own damn fault. I should have put a string around it and tied it around my neck. But one thing that comes to my mind, and then I've quickly found out, I don't necessarily need a $200 pocket knife. Nobody does. You need a pocket knife. Well, who needs a $200 pocket knife? You need a pocket knife that you can work with. You need a pocket knife that you're not afraid to chip the blade. You know, Benchmade's got a lifetime warranty thing. You can send it into the factory and they'll sharpen it for you. Now, what they don't tell you, and what you better read, is they're going to charge you $10 to sharpen it. You know, go get you a stone and learn to do it yourself is probably the best way. I'm sure they got a fine service, but you're mailing your pocket knife someplace else. And if you live around where I live, our mail has to go through Memphis, Tennessee. Chances are you'll never see that son of a bitch again. We can't even mail our bills without somebody stealing the money. So, you know, but we're talking about knives. So one thing I noticed, and one thing I did see somewhere, is Walmart, of all places, excuse me, I got a little bit cold. Walmart and their Ozark Trail knives. Now, Ozark Trail Trail sells a pocket knife that's damn near identical to the $200 Benchmade for $10. So can you have a $10 Benchmade? Man, most people, unless they know, unless they have benchmarks, they're not gonna know. And we're gonna take it out of there. This was like $9.97, and just other than the color, I'm gonna stick them up here just side by side at this point and see if we can zoom in and get a look at them. They're so close to being identical. If you'll just look at the blades, the handles, the controls, the locks, unlocks, down here where you got the little spot, if you see where my pinky's pointing at the lanyard spots, if you look at those things, they're just so identical. See if you have a look at that. And then I'm gonna turn them around and let you look at this side of them with the pocket clip. And this is the $200 knife. This is the $10 knife. I mean, they're just so close that, unless you had them side by side like this, you would never know the difference. Now, when you go to feel of them, the texture is very slightly different. And if you'll look closely at the knife, the texture is a little different. Let me turn it this way without that pin clip. The texture is a little bit different when you go to looking at the texture of the grips. They're both some kind of polymer or plastic or something. Now, if I turn them this way, you can see that the Benchmade is just slightly, maybe this way, it's easier for you, slightly narrower than the Ozark Trail. I mean, you can see that. And when I mean slightly narrower, look all the way up and down. So you can see that they're very similar in width. Now I'm gonna turn them this way and look at the width. Look right here at this portion of the lock blade, right here and right here. You can see it's a little bit narrower than the Ozark Trail. My point is though, I'm not sure, I would assume the weight, we'd have to get it on a powder scale. They're so close. My point is, if I handed you this, would you know it was my $200 Benchmade? No. If I handed you this, now the only difference I can see is the emblem on the blade. But a lot of people, this is what maybe we should be spending money on. It's nice to have a $200 pocket knife in your pocket, but sometimes you hate to lose them. I've got virtually the same knife for $10. Now, is there differences in steel? There may be a difference in the steel. This may be D2, this may be some chrome alloy from Switzerland. I'm not sure. I'm gonna let you look that up on yourself, but that's not my point. My point is we have virtually two knives that are damn near identical, and this was $200 and some change, and this was $9.97. Which one would you rather carry in your pocket? You'd always prefer to carry this one in your pocket, but that might not be the best thing. I could lose, 20 of these to replace one of these. Those of you guys who can't sharpen a knife, you think about this. If you can't sharpen a knife, take advantage of their $10 sharpening services, or learn how to do it and do it on this one. If you want to learn to sharpen a knife on something like this, right? A $10 knife versus learning how to do it on a $20 knife. This is just something today I thought would be interesting. The weather's not been really nice outside. The wind is blowing extremely hard. You guys know I don't have fancy ass echo proof shit in here and don't care and don't intend to get it. I'm not here to make good sound. I'm here to make good sense. To me, good sense is this. This is nice. On the other hand, if you've got the extra change, man, get you one of these. Make yourself feel good. Get yourself something. Like your wives and your old ladies and your girlfriends. Treat yourself, treat them to something a little bit nicer sometime. They don't always have to carry a fake Louis Vuitton. Hell, get them a nice Louis Vuitton. What's the difference? They feel good about themselves. So So that's what we're talking about here. If you want to have something to feel good about, get you something to feel good about. You want to have something that you can not worry about getting it scratched, dented, whatever, used like a pocket knife should be used, go up to Walmart and get you an Ozark Trail copy of a Bugout, okay? So until we get together again, guys, shoot safe and shoot straight, and maybe shop responsibly is what I would be told.